Hi there, my name is Jonathan Schaller and I'm an artist in the video games industry. I've worked on projects like Call of Duty, Transformers and Angry Birds. I'm also a keen 3D printer and mold maker, and in this video I'd like to show you a quick tip on how you can recycle your silicone and save a bit of money.
Hey everyone, you probably know obviously that silicone isn't the cheapest of materials and it's not something that you want to waste. You somewhere probably have a box of redundant molds just gathering dust, but there is a way that you can recycle them and potentially save hundreds of pounds. And the answer, I guess you could already see right in front of you, is that I've managed to ground it down using a meat mincer. So this meat mincer didn't cost me much more than about £10, and it's working really well. So what do? All you have to do, of course, is just chop up your silicone molds into pieces not much larger than this and stick them into the mincer. So as you can see, I've already given it a whirl. This took about a good 30 odd minutes to grind down. I recommend that you do use a cloth or maybe a pair of gardening gloves, because it won't be long before you start developing blisters like I have here, and then soon after that amputation. So let's give it a whirl. Okay, so I've grounded down all of the silicone and we're getting ready to make the new mold. So over here I already have prepared my 3D printed prototype of Koba here, and I've just glued him down with just one drop underneath him and glued him to this little plastic plate that you can get in just about any supermarket whatsoever. And then I've gradually just dripped a few drops of this glue around this cup, so this is also firmly held down. So just in the back here I had a pot of silicone, but I want to mix a 50-50 ratio of silicone and the ground recycled silicone, so I quickly poured it out of the original container into one of these red cups so that I can measure 50-50 equally. So what I'll do, of course, is I'll just get a nice old big old scoop from our recycled silicone. Yep, that looks to me about the same amount that we've got of the fresh silicone, so let's just place that next to here. That looks good to me. I'm going to give that a go. I wouldn't be surprised if there's probably I think this might be just the perfect amount combined together to go into this cup. This cup's actually a little bit bigger than these two here. So what we'll do is we'll give this a mix, and we'll probably have to speed it up because it does take quite a while. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pour these both into this original container in the background here and mix them, of course, with this red catalyst that I've got. So let's give that a shot. So our mould is ready and I've released Koba, and if you just look on the surface here you can see this really interesting texture of the recycled granules mixed with the fresh silicone, and it's looking really good. You might have noticed also in the time lapse that releasing Koba was a little bit stressful, and the reason being is he has these very broad shoulders, making it quite difficult to release. So what I've done is I cut myself a seam just down the back here, not too far, just so that I could release the mould a little easier and get Koba out. You also might be wondering, what is this rough cutting on the top here? Well, that's not a big deal. The reason being is when I create a prototype, I like to give it this extended base. I like to print beyond the area which I'm going to be doing the pouring. That way I can stop at a very controlled point around about here. I never let any of the silicone go to the very surface or overflow on my mould. So there we go, let's give this mould a go. Okay, so I'm about to pour the resin into my mould, but just before I do so, I've got to have a quick health and safety check. If you're working with toxic chemicals like I am, my polyester resin, you really want to make sure that you're in a well-ventilated room, or that you've got a breathing apparatus like one of these that I bought on the internet. I also like to wear gloves and a pair of goggles just in case I get anything splashed in my eyes. This is really important, so take care everybody. Okay, so the resin is cured. I'm just about to pull it out of the mould. So here we go. Let's get this guy out. All right. Just Let's go over here. There's that seam I cut. And he should pull out fairly well. Come on, here he comes. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Okay, I think he's looking pretty good. Now, you know, any of this bubbles at the bottom here, that's not a big problem. We can just sand that off, so that will come up quite nicely. The tiny bit of flashing that we have from that seam that I cut, but that will all just come off almost at a touch. But yeah, just a tiny bit of sanding will do that. But otherwise, you know, all the details are there, and it's a pretty damn good replica actually. So here's the original. Okay, looking pretty good, I'd say. Yeah, nice. So there you go. I hope that really, I really hope that helped someone out there. Thanks for watching.